You will have two short cases. One will be orthopedics and one will be a general surgery. Now, it is a usual dictum that those who get a long case in general surgery in ortho, which will be in a group of 28, 2 or 3 will be getting. For them, both of them will be a general surgery short case. What is important for everyone to remember is the short case will carry 20 plus 20 is equal to 40 marks. Now, this 20 plus 20, 40 is given by two usually different set of examiners. And remember that it is much important to score on these marks. Number two, the amount of the time that you get on this session is much more than this one. Long cases are usually held after around the short case group is done. Number two, the long case, you will have technically with this an operative surgery in some centers, which is again only of 20 marks. So basically that means you will be evaluated for 60 marks. So before the lunch, now not your lunch as I always say, 40 long case, 20 operative, 40 short case, makes it 100. You have to score 50 to pass in this area. No other marks will be added in this session to make you pass. So what is important is that rather than concentrating on X-rays, instruments, specimens a lot, which is theory, because that does not create, what is important is that please concentrate on your short case, long case, and then your operative. Next, after this thing is done, you will have 4 viva tables. Now, some centers may have this 20 marks as a separate viva table. Usually they don't, because for the examiner it is always easier to make a line at this point. Now, if you are not using this fifth thing, if you are not having this fifth thing, what we'll do is that 4 tables, very straight, instrument, 5 marks, X-rays, 5 marks, specimen, 5 marks, problem card, again 5 marks. Now, that means whatever good you are, however good you are, the maximum that you can score is 5. If you say a few words, you should be getting 2, 2.5. If you are very good, 3. Super good, 2.5. No more than the examiner, 4. No more than everyone in the institute, 4.5. No more than God, 5. Okay. Sometimes if you cross more, you can go to 0 again. Okay. So whatever you do, please remember that it has its limits. So don't please dedicate too much of time in this one. If you are a postgraduate, then the equation changes. There is this 5 becomes a 50, and for them it is 200. So you are undergraduate, you do not need to worry about these things. Believe me, what you do need to worry is always, as I say, if you have taken my long case notes, please concentrate on long case and short case. Please. This is important for you to pass and score. Those who are targeting for honors, good marks, remember this zone has maximum 20. How much will you score? 15, 18, 19, that's it. I've never seen anyone get 20 out of 20 because the examiner feels his examiner. Okay. So, but I have seen people get 94 out of 100 in this law. I've seen many. Because remember that their strategy was they did one case good, got around 18 out of 20. Another, she got 15. In long case, out of 40, she got 34. Which is very not a difficult target, believe me. And in operative, she got approximately 15. So please remember that if you are targeting for an honors or more than that, this is your bet. This is not that area that you can score. So with this, we'll have this class of instrument class that I said today for Shamulda is, I will give you the PDF of this. I have the PDF ready with me. I will mail it to Shamulda. Shamulda will be giving it to you. But what is important is that what I will do now is what I do for my postgraduate students also. I will give you the flow of questions. Okay. Now, remember that as I've said, before your exams are in December beginning, I hope. So before that, I will have around only maximum 2 or 3 classes if you like. Around one is radiology. I've given the videos. But if you like, I can have a problem class, etc. But more importantly, one, if you have any doubts on how to write answers on theory, particularly in the month of beginning of November or end of October, please ask me particularly any problems or difficult things in theory. Because between your theory and practical, I hope there is a 2-week gap. There is a 2-week gap, I hope. 3 weeks approximately. So I do not feel that it is good time to read your practicals now. Because you will have around, if 2 weeks, like 1 week goes out in that graph goes down again. Okay, so the next 2 weeks, I think that you can concentrate on, let's say, long case and short case. Okay, but what my job is to give you, because what I do for my residents is, I give them questions in 3 layers. Please see questions rather than the answers, because answers you will know. The flow of the questions is important. All questions by all examiners, believe me, are in 3 layers. One is a must-know category, and any subject that you read from today, surgery, medicine, pedia, does not matter. Second is should-know category. The last one is nice to know. Now, please see the red line. Every question that I say in this line is, remember, important for you to pass. I hope in this one, if you ask me, what does an undergraduate need to know? This one, 3 ticks. This one, 2 ticks. This one, 1 tick. Bas, that's it. For a postgraduate, this one is, oh my God, ticks and ticks. This one is 3 ticks. This one is 1 tick. But believe me, the red line remains the red line for everyone. The red line remains a red line for everyone. So with this, we'll start our class. Please take your questions in a layer approach. Majority of answers are single line or single word. This is a 5 marks table. Examiner does not want to spend 5 o'clock time in the evening or around 4 p.m. in the evening listening to steps of gastrectomy from you. Examiner is very tired the whole day. Okay, because from 9 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the evening, he has learned many things in life. Okay, so his philosophy of life may change. So again, so please remember that one. Like say, and I as an examiner got to hear many things like, why is this a Borgia's disease? Because the limb is black, B for B. Hence it is Borgia's disease. I thought, really? So good idea. So the more you examine or the more you take exams, you will feel at the end of the day your philosophy really changes. Okay. So let's start with let us start with the instrument class. As I've said, when you start with the instrument class, the most common instruments to begin with this list will always include a hemostatic forceps. Now, the first question, as I've said, let us talk about must know, should know, nice to know. Must know questions. What is this device or instrument? Oh, before that, I really forgot. This is the first instrument which should have said. Examiner has a big dala in front of you. The whole table is in front of you. examiner says pick one, what will you do? Come on, man, you have been through these steps in forensic, physiology, pathology, anatomy, bones. Examiner says pick one. What do you do? Come on, what do you do? Don't be shy. Pick one. कुछ तो ले लो. Okay, because if you don't say, sir, apni din, aap dijiye, sir, then he is going to pick something that you do not know. Okay, so don't get ashamed. If the examiner says pick one, please pick one common one or something that you are prepared. That means out of 50, at least you will read 5. Like a police catheter, artery forceps, you will read 5. At least pick one. Achha. Or scenario number 2, examiner says take one. Then, if you know that, please try that. Say something that gets much more credit than saying that, sir, I want to change. The minute you want to change out of 5, immediately you have got 2 marks deducted. So try not to change, but if you change, try to hit it in the first attempt. Don't try to say or option. There are no 4 options, please. Okay, so that's it. Now let us start. Questions on this one, must know. Question number 1. Identify or what is this device? So I will be a little fast because Shanmugh is recording. You can have this record. This is a medium-sized curved hemostatic forceps. That's it. That's it. Job done. Please remember, I am very adversant to use of eponyms until and unless you require them. Next, in whose name is this device? That answer is, sir, Spencer-Wells hemostatic forceps. Spencer-Wells, you do not need to take picture. There is a PDF. I will give you the PDF. Okay, just write the questions. Spencer-Wells was a British surgeon. That's it. Next one. Is this an artery forceps? Sir, commonly this is used for an artery forceps. Commonly, this is called as an artery forceps, but the name is a misnomer because it is used for hemostasis from arteries and veins alike. Next question. What are the common uses of this instrument? Say that, I have seen this instrument. Now, common uses means examiner wants to know names of operation with that step. Don't try to have too many. I have seen this to be used during a hernia surgery to ligate subcutaneous veins. Questions from this will now go to should know category. What are the 3 veins that you encounter during hernia dissection? Can you name those 3 veins? After cutting the skin, what is the layer that you get in a hernia? Fascia of Tampar, and then comes the fascia of Scarpa. What are the 3 veins that you usually get in this point? They are superficial epigastric, superficial external pudendal, and superficial circumflex iliac. So 3 veins. Okay, so this is one. Next one. The other use of this instrument is, so number 1 is done. Number 2, I have seen this for dissection. I have seen this to be used for dissection, okay, of subcutaneous tissues in a lipoma removal. Point number 3, I have seen 3 pairs of this instrument 3 pair means 6 such to be used during repair of, what am I going towards? Repair of peptic perforation. That's it. Answer khatam. Should know question now. Should know questions. You have said peptic perforation. What did you mean by this use on peptic perforation? So we have crossed the must know category. Now we go to should know. Now, in this one, if you have done my peptic perforation class or seen the video, this is a duodenal perforation. So what we do is that, how many sutures do we take? 3 sutures, not 6, 3 sutures. That means if this is the perforation, this is your suture. And then you need to tie a knot. Over what structure? Over what structure? Over what plug? Very good. Over omental plug. Okay. If it is an omental plug, what is that patch then called as? Graham's patch. Very good. Appreciate that. Good one. So now my question is, if this is this, then my question is not that. My question, guys, for you guys is that, just a minute. Yeah. So this is all. Now, how did you insert these sutures? As I have said, I will use 3 colors for 3 types. The first one, the first suture to be given is the central one. So let us name it as A dashed. This is the first suture to be given. Number 2, these ends of suture are held by what instrument? Medium-sized hemostat. Okay. Now, the next one is, then comes the superior suture. Then comes the superior suture, which is B dashed. So this is again held by a hemostatic forceps. The last suture is C dashed, which is again held by a hemostatic forceps. Now tell me, and after this, what is done is an omental plug. That means this is the greater omentum. From this greater omentum, what is done is a plug of the greater omentum is taken, and this omentum is placed over the perforation, and then the sutures are tied. Which is the first suture to be tied? Now I have crossed from should know to nice to know. A is the first to be given. That means central, superior, inferior. What is the sequence of tying the sutures? No, sir. B, C, and then the A. Superior first, inferior second, central last. If you have seen the operation, then you will always know that. Okay, so this is all about peptic perforation. Now, so we have talked about common uses in this. Now, what are the less common uses of this device? Now, the less common uses of this device are, now let me clear these markings. The less common uses of this device includes to be used in place of a sinus forceps for incision and drainage of an abscess. There is a reason behind telling you such an answer. What is the ideal instrument to be used for drainage of an abscess? Is a, again names, is a sinus forceps. What is the difference between the construction of a sinus forceps and this one? Very good. So this part is called as the ratchet, and a sinus forceps does not have a ratchet. So why is a sinus forceps used in an incision drainage? Why is this ideally not used for an incision drainage? Because if this is the abscess cavity, while drainage, there can be a tendency to apply the ratchet, and the instrument can catch the wall of the abscess cavity, which can contain a vital structure like a blood vessel. So, sinus forceps does not have a ratchet. Whatever you do with that forceps, it is not going to injure the wall of the abscess. We spent a lot of time on this because it is important. Then, what are the other uses? Now we have crossed out the less common uses. What are the other uses that you have seen during the operation theatre? Sir, I have seen it to be used for inserting chest drain. And then you will be asked about indications of intercostal chest drain. What are the indications of intercostal chest drain? Emergency and elective. Can you name one emergency indication? Very good. Tension, pneumothorax, pneumothorax. Flail chest, mat bolo. Because flail chest again. This is 5 marks exam. Don't exert so much effort from the examiner. Pneumothorax, pneumothorax. Job done. Make things simple. Next one. Elective indication of chest drain. Come on. Chest medicine, guys. Empyema thoracis. That's it. Now, second use is we can use it for inserting abdominal drains. Kaisa drain? Abdominal drain mane tube drains in the abdomen. Can you see any operation after which a tube drain was given? I'll give you an example. After a cholecystectomy. Kaisa cholecystectomy? Open cholecystectomy. Where was the drain placed? Paternal pouch of Morrison. Why was it placed in a paternal pouch? Because it was the most dependent part of the human body in a supine state. What is the other side that you should also have given a drain in a laparotomy? If the patient was sitting up like this, is in the pelvis. Please remember. So examiner, these are all typical exam questions for undergraduates. Where will you give a drain? Paternal pouch. क्यों दोगे तुम? Patient को देखो after the post-operative period. Patient is lying down. So all the fluid gravitates down in the paternal pouch. So it is good always to put a pipe or a drain in that, called as an abdominal drain. But if the patient is sitting up, walking, then all the fluid will go down to the pelvis. So it is better to give a drain in the pelvis and abdominal drain. Job done. So this finishes your discussion. So we have completed all. The final question is, how did you obtain a sterilization for this? Now, how did you go for a sterilization of this one? On this note, I will always ask you this one. How did you sterilize this device? The answer for this, everyone says single word, autoclaving, and I am not at all happy. Because the examiner, you are again exerting the examiner. Kaisa temperature, kitna pressure. So please remember for all metal instruments today, sir, I have seen them autoclaving at a temperature of 121 degrees centigrade, not Fahrenheit, please, degree centigrade. For a wall pressure money, this is your box of autoclave. This is the instrument. So we are talking about the wall pressure. For a wall pressure of 15 pound lb per square inch. Last one is for a holding time of 20 to 30 minutes. What do you mean by holding time? Holding time means after the temperature and the pressure is obtained, you need to maintain the temperature and the pressure for that time is called as a holding time. The best example of a holding time is if you cook and you use a pressure cooker, what does mummy say to you? Chatte city. What does that mean? Chatte city from what chatte? From the first city. That means that is the holding time. So please remember this is autoclaving. Which part of your hospital is autoclaving of instruments done? Come on, man. Now I asked you a tough one. Which part of your hospital is autoclaving done? One line answers, please. OT. Not a very good answer. Which part of your hospital has this? It is usually in your OT. That please see an area that is marked as Central Sterile Supply Department. Please remember the name. Now our Purana concept is every OT has its own autoclave. That is a very stupid old idea. For the hospital, just imagine, why should you buy 10 autoclaves for 10 OTs? Rather than buy 2 autoclaves, keep them at one place. If you are a hospital manager, it is much easier for you. And this is what you should know as a student. But so we do not usually follow this, something called a CSSD. But what is the full form? Central Sterile Supply Department. Okay? So that's it. So this is all about autoclaving, and we have finished out the first of the instrument. Now, this one, description. The next instrument, description. Okay. This description is small size, straight, hemostatic forceps. Now, the next one is commonly called as a mosquito forceps. So again, describe the instrument. This is a small sized, straight variety hemostatic forceps, commonly called as a mosquito forceps. Now, before we go to the next part, can you identify a part of a forceps? Number 2, what is a forceps? A forceps means a grasping or a holding tool. A forceps is a grasping or a holding tool. It's called as a forceps. Next one. So don't take pictures. I will be giving you the PDF. So don't take pictures. Just write now. So it is a grasping or a holding tool. What are the parts of a forceps? This part is called as the joint. It can either be a box joint or can be a. This part is called as a blade. This part is called as a handle. This part is called as a ratchet. We call it as a catch sometimes. This part is called as a finger bow. Have I made you understand up to this point? So, any forceps will have these 5 features. Like, see this one. Again, these 5 features. See this one. Joint, blade, handle, finger bows, and a ratchet. Now, so this is the first part. Examiner will ask, why is this called as a mosquito forceps? Why is this called as a mosquito forceps? Every year I get new answers. Let me see what is this year's intake. Why is this called as a mosquito forceps? Really important question. Okay, so some people say it is small. Probably the answer that you should give is, sir, it is small and light, and hence it is called as a mosquito forceps. But what are the range of answers that I have got over time? Now, I will tell you what is the range of answer that I have got from examiners to students. Some examiners have told me the blade is so fine that you can roll the proboscis of a mosquito. Try catching a mosquito Then try to hold the proboscis of a mosquito. Proboscis is one of the thing that is used for sucking blood. So hold the proboscis of a mosquito. That is hypothesis 1. Hypothesis 2. When you close the forceps, sound looks like a mosquito buzzing. Very nice. Okay. Hypothesis 3. When you apply it, it looks like it is at a 45-degree angle to the skin, like a mosquito sits on the skin. Okay. So if you got more interesting answers, please give them to me. But till to this date, I do not know when the last one, mosquito did not invent this one. Okay, so mosquito did not invent. This is what I got. So mosquito no, so mosquito did not invent this. Okay, and no one kept his son's name or daughter's name as mosquito. Job done. Now let us come to more serious stuff. Common uses. What are the uses that you have seen for this one? Common uses. Sir, I have seen this to be used in which operations? Sir, in circumcision. In which I have seen. How many mosquitoes were used? Very good. 3. Really like that answer. 2 were used for, if this is the preputial skin, one instrument was used for lysis of the adhesions between the skin and the glans, or the prepuce and the glans. One instrument was used for lysis of the adhesions between the preputial skin and the glans. That means, if you have not understood this, if understanding the surgery of phimosis is like understanding L-ICICA symbol. You have seen the LIC symbol, have you seen that L-ICICA symbol? Okay, so it is exactly like that. Now, what is important is that this is the urethra. Okay, so this is the urethra. So I'll mark it with blue so that water comes out. This is the preputial skin, remember, and your operation is going to remove up to this part. So please remember that this operation about circumcision is all about doing this operation only. That's it. This is called as a circumcision. So that at the end of the day, please see what are the two structures that need a stitch. What are the two structures that you are stitching? You are stitching this skin on the glans with the skin on the prepuce by a stitch. But before that, what you do need to know is there are lots of adhesions which are inflammatory because of balanoposthitis between the glans and the prepuce. So the first step is, so these adhesions are bound to form because of balano. What does balano mean? Inflammation of the glans. Posthitis means inflammation of the prepuce. As both of them happen simultaneously, this is called as balanoposthitis. Okay, next one is, what is the first step of a phimosis operation after the anesthesia is given? What is anesthesia in a child? GA. Anesthesia in an adult? GA or local ring block. Ring. Ankhi wala block. What is the drug that is used in anesthesia? Local. Anything more words? Lignocaine के साथ I made a trap and I exactly walked in the trap. I exactly laid a trap for you and I exactly walked in the trap. As I've said, lignocaine के साथ कुछ नहीं sir. This is plain lignocaine. Why you know that? Okay, next one is, what is the instrument role? Two mosquito forceps are for stretching the glands. The foreskin. One mosquito forceps is for introducing in this area and sweeping out all these adhesions. So what I have done is that I have removed lysed all these adhesions. So that now, what is the incision area? The incision area is always, remember, The incision area always starts from which side of the penis, dorsal or ventral? Again, people are unnecessarily confused. There is a big confusion in the penis. This is the abdomen or the booty. This is the penis. Please remember, scrotal side is called as the ventral side. The abdominal side is called as the dorsal side. So that means the first of incisions is always given on the dorsal slit. Okay? That means if you see a clock-like picture, technically at around 12 o'clock. Let me say that. Okay? Now, after that, so this is the step that you need to hold the preputial skin with a mosquito. Last question, I do not intend to teach circumcision at this point. What is the most common indication of circumcision? Come on. One line answer was, what is the most common indication of circumcision? The most common indication of circumcision done is ritualistic circumcision. But what is the most common medical indication of circumcision? Very good. Pseudophimosis. What are the complications of phimosis? 1, 2, 3. Paraphimosis. Number 2, I told you. UTI. Number 3, Galano-osteitis. That's it. You have answered all questions in all layers. Now, any other uses of this instrument? Circumcision khatam. Number 2. Any other uses of this instrument? Any other use of this instrument? Sir, this is used for dissection. This is used for dissection of superficial lumps. Example, sebaceous cyst. I hope you have done my class on lipoma sebaceous cyst. You will be asked, what is the incision that was given for sebaceous cyst? Remember, the examiner wants only one answer. For a sebaceous cyst, what is the incision that you are planning to give, Dr. Saab? Boliye mujhe. Or kuch, I need answer single line. This is the cyst. This is very good. So what should be your answer? Elliptical skin incision, including the punctum. बस मुझे और कुछ नहीं चाहिए वाइवा के लिए. This is what the examiner wants. Elliptical incision with the punctum. Not a word more. So that's it. 2 uses. It can be used for many other. Less common uses includes, it is used in neck dissections. Sorry. Neck dissections, mane, I hope you know what are neck dissections. What are the types of neck dissection that you should know? So now you have crossed the must know boundary. Now I am going into should know. What are the types of neck dissection? Just give me 2 names. Sir, they are technically called as radical, modified radical, and another one is selective. Okay. Now let us talk about, so these are all about things that you should know. Any other uses of this device that you know? There can be many other uses, like this is used for holding tails of sutures. Sometimes, usually not. Tails of sutures for fine operation, but you are not required to know up till that length. Okay? So I have told you what is a mosquito. How do you sterilize this instrument? Come on. How to sterilize this instrument? फिर से बोलो, जोर से बोलो. Autoclaving at 121 degrees centigrade. Therefore, with a wall pressure of 15 pounds per square inch for a holding time of 20 to 30 minutes. Please say the full word. Don't stop at autoclaving. The minute you say this whole word, believe me, the examiner is very impressed. He said that, okay, this guy knows things. Let us go to the next instrument. Long, or straight, hemostatic forceps. Okay? Description. Sir, this is a long, not medium sized. By the way, this was small. This was medium. So now we are talking about long. Okay. So this instrument is a long curved hemostatic forceps. Names I do not know. Okay. I'll be giving this PDF. Don't worry. You do not need to take pictures. You need to take pictures. Okay, do for your notes. But this is a long curved hemostatic forceps. Okay. Some people like gynae guys will give it a name. Any names? Because the minute you talk about names, I'm going to ask who this chap was. Kelly. Who was Kelly, guys? Kelly was the father of modern gynecology. Remember, an American gynecologist was the father of modern gynecology. Was one among the surgeons who standardized hysterectomy. So during your gynecology, I hope, what do you call this to be in gynae class? You call this to be a uterine clamp. Remember, the same instrument changes its name, nothing else. But for me, let it make it simple. Long curved hemostatic forceps. Use. What is the use, boss? Common use. Come on. Common use. I know of only two uses. Number one, I use it for giving a chest drain or an abdominal drain. By this time, you know an operation with an abdominal drain and a chest drain. Okay, ICD insertion and an abdominal drain insertion. Okay. Now, the next one, when you talk about drains today, we'll talk about that. So this is all about the common use. The next one is, what are the less common uses? Now, this is, you have crossed the boundary between must know to should know. What are the less common uses? This is used for holding something called as a P-nut swab. That means, if this is the instrument, can you see the tip of the instrument? And then let us cut a gauge. In this gauge, let us cut one corner. And when you cut a corner, please roll the corner in the size of a peanut on a motorcycle. And then hold it at the tip. Why did you use it for? Why did you use it for? Which operation do you use it for? That's it. Why could not I hold it over a medium-sized forceps? Why this long? Because the answer is depth, depth, depth. This is long instrument. If you hold it with a depth, definitely this tells. Because that's it. This is what it requires to be done. So I use it for holding what? To make a peanut swab. Some people call it as swab on a stick. Now, this is not a stick, but still, it is commonly called as swab on a stick. Okay? So we have talked about this one. We have told you about what are these devices. Now, the next group. Medium-sized or large. This is nothing in small, but I have seen the small variety also. So, medium-sized, I will talk about medium-sized. It can be straight, it can be curved. I have shown you both the pictures, depending upon what your hospital has. So, what is the description of this? Medium-sized, straight variety, Cocker's hemostatic forceps. Medium-sized, straight variety, Cocker's hemostatic forceps. Uses of this device. What are the common uses of this device? Now, common uses means, sir, what are the common uses of this device? Common use of this device. Come on. Very good. That means you have said that, sir, in labor room, the कहाँ पे देखा था artificial rupture of examiner का membrane नहीं होता. So labor room, it is artificial rupture of membrane to do why? Why did you need to membrane? for induction of labor. Examiner, surgeon will now take a jolly talk and say, Baba, Putin area. Some examiners like me are more dangerous. Then they are going to ask you, tell me the steps of ARM. Okay, so I'm gradually going to take you down. Any more use in the labor room? Very good. In this one, this is exactly what I wanted from you. Why not use a medium-sized Spencer-Wells forceps? Why use this? Why use a Cocker? Why not use a Spencer-Wells? So special advantage being, why did you do a ARM with this? Why not a medium size? Why not a mosquito? Mosquito will be lost. Very good. That means it is used for holding structures against a slippery background. See the umbilical cord, boss. Umbilical cord is a slippery tube and it contains a blood vessel. So please remember that you need to hold it. So that means Cocker's hemostatic forceps is used for hemostasis of tubes or slippery tubes or arteries on a background of a slippery tube. The best example probably that you have said is perfectly right, an ARM and a umbilical cord. So what is the important thing in surgery that we are teaching you for? Surgery mein kahan pe use hota hai, Dr. Saab? That is the gynecology, and I absolutely agree with you. So tell me, what are the less common uses that we general surgeons do now? Duodenum. Duodenum with this. Oh my God. No. Again. We'll come to cockerization of duodenum. Cockerization of duodenum does not mean holding this with a cocker. Oh my God. Cocker will be very, very unhappy. What is the use in general surgery? Hernia sac. Hernia sac, what do you do? What do you want to do with hernia sac? Hernia sac is held with a medium-sized hemostatic forceps and then it is twisted. My question is, slippery background, blood vessel bleeding ho raha hai and you are holding that. So that's the bleeding. Gallbladder, which is a slippery structure, boss. Portal vein. Bile duct is a very soft structure. Appendix. Mesoappendix is a very pliable structure. Come on. Lymph nodes, very soft. Let us talk about mastectomy. Which is the blood supply of the breast? Perforators. Where do they come from? Inside of the chest. That means these perforators have to penetrate the chest wall, and against a slippery background of the chest wall, you will find short perforators. If your stitch gets loose, the artery will retract down and will go to the chest. So that means the less common use is during a mastectomy to control what blood vessels? Internal mammary artery ka perforator. How many perforators are there? 2, 3, 4, 5. That means in this intercostal spaces, you get 1 perforator, 2 perforator, 3 perforator, 4 perforator. How many perforators do you get? 4 perforators usually. The branches of internal mammary artery. The answer is, have you seen this? If the examiner asks you, now I'm crossing your boundary from should know to nice to know. The answer is no, sir, and smile at the examiner. That's it. Next one. Any other role? Any other artery against a bone? Come on, artery against a bone. Amputations. Nutrient artery of a bone. What is the nutrient artery adherent with? The periosteum. What is periosteum? Very slippery structure. So that means in an amputation to hold the nutrient artery of a bone, what amputation have you seen? Ek amputation, bolo boss. One amputation. Very good. Only amputation that you should know is a below knee amputation. Very good. Now I am trying to give you honors. Good. You are a good student. I should give you honors. Below knee amputation. Just 2 questions. What is the level of cut on the tibia and what is the incision for a BK amputation? Now I am trying to give you honors. Acha number. Now, where do you cut the tibia in a BK amputation? Remember, if this is the tibial tuberosity, this is 15 centimeter at least that you need to maintain below the tibial tubercle. This is the minimum length of the stump. You can maintain a little more, but do not try to maintain less. What is the incision for this? The incision for this, remember, what is the incision for this? The incision for this is, see this incision. This is half the circumference. Then, whatever is this distance, say for example x, at this point, again measure the distance x. And then, again go for half the circumference incision. That means, please understand if this is a cylinder, so the leg is a cylinder. What I will do is that this cylinder has a half. Okay. So the first part of the incision is make an incision like this from this point to this point. That means this point to this point. Okay. Now measure a distance about this. That means what is the radius? So the radius is x in this point. Now measure the distance of radius by x centimeter. Now again curve like this. Why did I do that? So that at the end of the day, when you understood this part, at the end of the day, this cut end of the stump will always look like this. The cut end of the stump will look like this. This is the bone, the tibia, and this is the muscle. Which muscle is this? Is the gastrocnemius soleus. And then what you can do is just very simply, you can just cover the bone with the muscle. So this is a step of a below knee amputation. What has been your indication of an amputation? A dead limb. Okay. A dead limb. A deadly limb like an gas gangrene. Okay. Number 3 is a functionless limb called as a dam nuisance, like a diabetic foot limb with total neurological problems and vascular problems. Deadly, dam nuisance are the 3 indications of an amputation. So I've told you all about Cocker's hemostatic forceps. Last one, honors questions are, who was this chap called as Cocker? Important question, because I know a lot of theory, I know a lot of history, but who was this chap called as Cocker? Okay. By the way, the spelling and the pronunciation from today is, please change your pronunciation. The pronunciation is, this is good. This is not the pronunciation, please. Okay, so don't write that. So it is called as Cocker's forceps. Who was Cocker? Is an MCQ also. Was the first surgeon to get a Nobel Prize on his work on thyroid. Very good. So number 2 is that, what is this Cocker's hemostatic forceps doing in a thyroid? There are many hypotheses to this. Probably do not know which one is right or not. When Cocker used to operate 1900 at the beginning, Cocker got big goiters which are thyrotoxic. As you know, big goiters which are thyrotoxic, what did they have over them? They had big blood vessels because it was toxic. So Cocker had a friend. Know his name? Lugol. So what did Lugol give? Lugol's iodine. What does Lugol's iodine do to the gland? Fibrosis. It makes the gland from soft to firm. That means these blood vessels will now be there against a firm background. And when you like to ligate them, what is the danger? They may slip. Hence, you need to hold them with a tough instrument, like pokers. That's the only historic use, nothing more. But in reality, this is maybe a story. Such may, poker had many inventions to his name. Initially, I knew around 19 to 20. Now the list has come down. I'm aging now. Okay, but still I remember a few. Like, what are the other things that go with the name of poker? Number one is hemostatic forceps. Done. Number two is Cocker's incision for gallbladder. Cocker's incision for thyroid. I hope you know both. Okay. Number fourth, because what is important is, guys, this one is a must question for gallbladder operation. Where does a Cocker incision start? One word. Where does it start from? Where does it start from? The midline. And then it is extended. Okay. Chalo. Now, let us talk about any other Cockers. Yes, I have Cockers. Cockerization of the duodenum. What does this word mean? Cockerization of duodenum. It means that what is the move? What is the thing that you have done? It technically means that this is the duodenum, the C loop of the duodenum, and the C loop of the duodenum has a peritoneal cover. Okay, this is the pancreas. So, what is the cockerization? Cockerization means you are going to cut the peritoneal layer. So, from superior to inferior to mobilize the duodenum. Which operation requires you to do this? Which operation requires you to do this? Is to palpate which tube? The common bile duct. For which operation of the common bile duct will you like to do this? When I want to take out a stone from the common bile duct. Or CBD exploration. Good one. That's it. So that is cockerization. Orthopedics. Any cockers? Come on. Reduction of dislocated shoulder. Okay. Any more cockers? Fourth vein of cocker. वो कहाँ पे होता है? Which organ? Thyroid. Again an MCQ. What does it drain into? The brachiocephalic vein. Any more cockers? Come on. Any more cockers? Thyroid again. Cockers. Test to see for laryngomalacia. Should you be doing this test? No. That's it. I have told you 7. I have told you more or less must know, should know, nice to know. All questions on cocker. As I've said, I can go on more. You do not require to know this. Cockers. Job done. Oh, by the way, which country was he from? Okay. Now, migrate to tissue forceps. Tissue forceps will have their tips or the end of the tip into something that is very special. Now, that means with this tip, all your nomenclature depends upon what is the tip to be used. Like say this one. This is an Ellis tissue holding forceps. Some people will add medium-sized Ellis tissue holding forceps. Okay, so this is the medium-sized Ellis tissue holding forceps. Now, description. The important only part of the description is the end of the blade contains fine serrations. End of the blade contains, as you can see, fine serrations. Now, what are the common uses of this device? Sorry. What are the common uses of this device? What are the common uses? I have seen this to be used during an appendicectomy to hold the external oblique aponeurosis. You will be asked, what is the incision for appendicectomy? Number two, what is the name of the incision for appendicectomy? Again, partly right, partly wrong. So the incision is called as a gridiron incision. Point number two, the incision has nothing to do with the name McBurney. It is called as a gridiron incision. That's it. Don't unnecessarily bring in McBurney. Where is the incision given through? That has its answer as the incision is centered on the McBurney's point. It is not called McBurney's gridiron. The incision is centered on McBurney's point. What are the layers that are cut and that are split? External oblique is cut. Internal oblique and transversus is split. Surgical peritoneum is cut. Okay? But there is an important thing. It is cut between two hemostatic forceps after ensuring that there is no bowel. This is what the examiner wants to hear from you guys. Next. So appendicectomy done. It is used in hernia operation. I've seen in hernia surgery to hold the external oblique aponeurosis. You will be asked what kind of hernia surgery that you saw. Say that, sir, I have seen a hernioplasty. Okay. Questions in this in must know category are, must know category questions will always include any doubts, guys? To hold the external oblique aponeurosis in hernia surgery. Examiner will ask you what kind of hernia surgery that you saw. Hernioplasty. What did you mean by herniorrhaphy and how do you define herniotomy? I will be going through this quickly. What is a herniotomy? What is a herniotomy? Herniotomy is 4 technical steps. It is an isolation. Number 1, opening of the sac, followed by reduction of the content, if viable, like an intestine omentum. Lastly, followed by excision of the sac. Please remember, do not only say that herniotomy is only about excision of the sac. Herniotomy is isolation of the sac, opening of the sac, reduction of the content, and excision of the sac. What is herniorrhaphy? You may do this after herniotomy in an indirect hernia. You may do this directly in a direct hernia. Herniotomy के बाद कर सकते हो in indirect hernia. In a direct hernia, you may do this as such. What is important in a herniotomy is it is a repair of the posterior wall by reinforcement of local tissue. It is a reinforcement of the posterior wall of the inguinal canal. Reinforcement of the posterior wall of the inguinal canal by use of local tissues. Can you name 2 techniques of herniotomy? I give you 3. Bassini, Schulde, nylon darning. 3 names. Kinambulam, Bassini. How many S's? 2 S's. Next one is Schulde's. Third one is by the name of Abrahamson. Okay. Hernioplasty. How to define hernioplasty? Posterior wall is reinforced by use of a prosthetic device. Example A, polypropylene mesh. Example A, polypropylene mesh. What is the name of the technique? Lichtenstein. Boss, that's it. I'm happy. What is the name of the technique? Lichtenstein's technique. But remember, for everyone, all these three are must know. Then we can now go to the should know category. So these are the two common uses that you are going to say. Less common uses, okay, you can use it for abdominal wall closer by holding the margins of linea alba or the rectus sheath. Margins of the linea alba or the rectus sheath can be held by this. The linea alba or the rectus sheath is held by this. Sorry. Okay. So next is that you will be asked is that, so abdominal wall closer, margins of linea alba and the rectus sheath. That's it. Now in this one, again we'll talk about that in abdominal wall closer. You will be asked what are the principles of abdominal wall closer. Let me do this very quickly. What are the principles of abdominal wall closer? This is a laparotomy incision. Okay. Then what is the length of the suture that is taken? If this is X, what is the length of the suture? What is the rule called as? Jenkins rule. Next, number 2. What type of suture is given? Continuous, yeah, interrupted. Which one is better? Sir, the result is the same. But I have seen my sir to give usually a continuous. What is the suture material? I have seen my sir to use a number 1. Prolene is a trade name. We use usually a polypropylene suture. Okay, that's it. So this talks about this one. By the way, I really forgot. What is the distance between? That means if this is the first suture, what is the distance between two stitches? That means what is the gap between each? Is 1 centimeter. Please remember. Okay, and what is the gap from the wound margin with the suture? What is this gap? This gap is also very simple, 1 centimeter. That's it. So that means sutures are taken 1 centimeter apart, 1 centimeter from the margin. In between the two sutures, you take 1 centimeter gap. While taking the suture, you need an instrument to hold the fascia, hold the layer. What is that instrument? Then Alice, as I've told you, majority of things done. Description of this one. Give it a minute. Babcocks, medium sized. There can be large Babcock as well. Or Babcocks, tissue holding forceps. That's it. Special description of the end. I hope you can see this one. Special description of the end of the blade. What is this blade? The end of the blade is bulbous. Number 2, the end of the blade, as you can see, it is fenestrated. Number 3, the end of the blade, like in this one, has a notch for better grip. Okay. So the type of the structure that will be accommodated in this is usually always a tube. Why is it bulbous to hold a tube? Why is it fenestrated? So that the tube, if it is soft, can bulge to this. Why does it have a notch at the tip? Notch at the tip ensures a firm grip on the tissues. What is the operation that you have seen this for? Is an appendectomy. Very good. questions to be asked are, how many Babcock's forceps are used for an appendicectomy? Very good. 3. Achha, why this odd number? 3. Why an odd number, sir? That means this is such an operation, as I've said, that there is no mercy if you cannot. This is the mesoappendix. Okay, guys? This is the mesoappendix with you. Now, how will you hold this one? The Sister G gives you 2 Babcock's forceps. Sister G does not give you 3. Sister does not give you 3 on the trolley. Sister always gives you 2. Mosquito 3 for circumcision. Babcock 2 for appendix. Important things to remember. Where will you apply them? See this picture. One is near the base. Another one is near the apex. And after you have held it with 2 Babcocks, why did you do that? To display what? To display what? Dekho picture dekho. To display what? To display what? Come on. To display the mesoappendix, because immediately my next step will be, I need to find an avascular area, so that I will make a rent with what instrument? A mosquito forceps and or a hemostatic forceps. I use a mosquito hemostat, whatever is available, so that I can put a suture, to ligate the mesoappendix. Please remember that. I will hold a Babcock to display the mesoappendix. I will make a rent in the mesoappendix with what? A mosquito or a hemostat, so that I can pass a silk suture, so that I can ligate the mesoappendix. How many times did you ligate the mesoappendix? Twice. Always twice. Okay, that's it. So this is all about stories about appendicectomy. The next one, any other use that you have seen this for? Yes, for a tubal ligation. What operation did you do this for a tubal ligation? Come on, tubal ligation. Right? What operation? Very good. Is a family planning. That's it. They take Babcocks to deliver the tube. Anything more? Yes. Sir, I've seen it to be used during an ectopic pregnancy. They hold this tube with this Babcock. Any other lesser common operations? Yes. It is used for holding intestines, for gastrointestinal operations like gastrojejunostomy and resection anastomosis of intestine. I have used this for holding intestines for gastrojejunostomy and resection anastomosis of intestine. Will you use an Alice for holding stomach or intestine? No, sir. Why? Because the tip has fine serrations which will lead to perforation of the bowel. No. So Babcock done. Name. This is a Walschalam tissue holding forceps. What is the length of this? Come on, where did you see this instrument? Gynecology, good one. What is the use of this? What do gynecologists do by this one? Very good. Really liked it. That means, guys, you are good. You are a good student. This is used for 2 usual operations. Remember that. One, we general surgeons use it for closing the abdomen. What is the difference with an Alice tissue forceps? Longer, very good. Number 2, heavier. Number 3, curve. Number 4, but the most important thing is the reason I took up this picture is, please see the end of the blade. This just has fine serrations. This does not have a fine serration. It looks like a crocodile teeth or heavy serrations. What is the advantage of closing the abdomen with this thing? Because it can grip the fascia or abdominal linea alba very tightly. That's it. Now, what is the operation in gynecology that you saw with this one? This is so heavy, na? What is the operation in gynecology that you saw? Hysterectomy, very good. Someone told me, very nice. Why? Which step in hysterectomy? Come on, what type of hysterectomy, boss? Abdominal or vaginal? Usually vaginal hysterectomy. Okay, number 2. Any other use of this one? To hold the cervical fibroid. Remember. Next one is chronic cervicitis. You want to take a biopsy. Last one is cervical tears are usually not held by this. They need an Alice. So that is Valsallam for you. Okay, so chronic cervicitis for taking a biopsy, cervical tear, vaginal hysterectomy. Okay. Again, something from gynecology. General surgeons less use this, something called as little wood forceps. What is the speciality about this one? How do you describe this? The blades will end up in what? Come on. What does the blade end up into? The blade ends up into a notch and teeth. So this is used for only one step. Which step of the operation is this used for? For closing the abdomen. By holding the fascia and the rectus sheath. Which operation? Come on. The commonest gynecological operation done every day. A cesarean section and a hysterectomy. Either they will use the Valsallam, but Valsallam is a very long instrument, not preferable. Little wood forceps is a medium-sized instrument. Usually, it can be long also, and is used for abdominal wall closure. Yes. This one again is general surgery. Is Lane's tissue holding forceps. Can you quickly describe the blade? Oh, by the way, I really forgot. What is this joint? This is, what is this joint? What is a box joint there? Dekho, this is a box. This is a keyboard. Chalo, take it. All old the two instruments will have keyboard. Chalo, take it. Important things. What is the end of the blade? Come on. Fenestrated के पहले boss ये क्या है? Number 2. Number 3. Notch. Oh, sorry. It should be a teeth. And reversing the teeth. यहाँ पे देखो picture. Can you see this? This is the teeth. And opposite the teeth, what is this one? A notch. So what is the use of this instrument called as Lane's tissue forceps? Come on. This is a general surgery instrument. What is the use of this instrument? What is the use of this instrument? Come on. What is the use of this instrument? एक use to बोल दो boss. What is the use of this instrument? Sir, this is not used now. The only use is for holding cables like diathermy, suction cables. It was earlier used for holding lipoma, fibroadenoma, and fibromas for that. That's it. Nowadays, we do not hold this thing. We use other Alice forceps, but these are again cables and suction. Okay, that's it. Okay, with this one, as I've said, holding things, we now have something called as a towel clip and a forceps. So if this is Lane's that holds, we now have towel clips and towel forceps. Like this one is called as towel holding forceps. Let me see if I can have a picture of, yes. This is technically, this thing is called as a towel holding clip. Looks like a clip that you have for your everyday. For hanging your towel, you have this one, clip. This one, I will not be happy with the word clip. I will be more happy with the word forceps. Please see, this is a common one that is seen. This is also something that looks like a towel holding forceps, is technically not a towel holding forceps. I will come to ask you what is this one later on. But first of all, this one. What is the use of this instrument? Uses. As I have said, for holding cables and suction. So number one is, as I have said, for antiseptic draping, you need to hold the sheets together. For antiseptic draping, you need to hold the sheets together. Number two, for holding the cables and the suction tubes together. That's it. Any operation that you can use this. Any operation that you can use this. Yes. This can rarely be used as a tongue holding forceps for repair of tongue lacerations. How do you get a patient with a tongue laceration? Epileptic fit, patient had a bite in his own tongue. Very common in your emergency. During the episode of convulsion, the patient had a bite in his own tongue. Now the patient is bleeding. So what is the important thing that you do? Hold this tongue out, give a stitch. But this is a very sharp instrument. Patient will feel a lot of pain. So some people consider this to be a towel clip. Some people consider this to not be a towel clip for a tongue holding forceps. Can you see the end of this tongue holding forceps? What is so special? End is blunt, and so that it can have a grip. But some people use it interchangeably with the towel forceps. Okay, these are clips. Now, two important clips for you guys. What is this clip called as? This is usually not an undergraduate question. Should not be asked. Should be asked for a middle exams. This is a towel holding clip. This one again is a towel holding clip. They go by the name of Rampley's towel holding clip, like soft forceps. This is called as Bachau's. Okay. What is important is, what is this device? This device, please see the end. The end of this has a speciality for holding a vascular structures. Okay, so that is technically something called as a bulldog clip. Okay. Now, oh, by the way, I really forgot. Where is a bulldog clip used? Bulldog clip is used if this is a bleeding blood vessel. If this is a laceration or a tear in a bleeding blood vessel, this is exuding blood. You need a bulldog clip. Give me a minute. Yeah. So you need a bulldog clip to be placed like this and like this. Just apply two clips in a form of a V. So that means your wound is now, bleeding is closed now, then you repair the artery. So this is something called as a bulldog clip for control of bleeding from major arteries or veins. So this is a bulldog clip for control of bleeding from major arteries and veins. Come to the next one. Swab holding forceps. Also commonly, technically, you say this in MBBS as a Rampley's. The problem was that one of my students took my name. Okay. So again, don't go for names. Okay, so it is Rampley's swab holding forceps. Now please see the description of this. Swab holding forceps are always long, straight instruments. Swab holding forceps are always long, straight instruments. The end of the blade, as you can again see, what is the speciality at the end of the blade? The end of the blade is blunt, it is bulbous. What is the next thing that you can see? It is fenestrated, and what is there on the inside of these blades are serrations. I have a bad handwriting. Blunt, bulbous, fenestrated, serrated. Blunt, bulbous, fenestrated, serrated. Blunt, bulbous, fenestrated, serrated. 4 points. Now, why are they made like that? For one single purpose. To hold a sponge or a swab. For what step of the operation would you like to do that? So it is done for antiseptic dressing. That means in antiseptic dressing, the examiner will ask you 2 questions only in must know. What is the agent that was used in antiseptic cleaning and dressing? What is your answer? Povidone iodine. Strength being 5% at least. It can be 2.5% also. But what is important is how did they, now the examiner will ask you, how did you start this procedure? Very important. Remember that you have to start at the center of the incision. Not at the center of the abdomen, please. You have to start at the center of the incision and then you need to move out centrifugally from the field of your incision. So this is an appendicectomy that I am trying to, so this is an cholecystectomy that I am trying to show. If you do the same for an appendicectomy, as I've said, the center of your incision will guide you on how will you like to go for a draping and a painting. If you are doing a midline laparotomy, then I will be going through the umbilicus initially and then I will gradually be going out of this. So please remember the center of the incision is important. That's it. What is the other drug that you use in this? I can use alcohol plus cetavlon, that means Savlon. Many of hospitals use alcohol and this, some use cetrimide. You can use any of this. You can use povidone iodine, you can use alcohol, cetavlon, you can use cetrimide. But what is important is the time duration is important. For povidone iodine, it is approximately minimum 5 minutes should be the contact time of the chemical agent with this. Next question. Why is this so long? Why is this instrument so long? Any idea? Because at the beginning of the operation, the surgeon's hands are sterile. So these are your hands which are sterile. The surface of the patient's body is unsterile. And hence, to increase the distance between the patient and the surgeon so that the antiseptic dressing can be done in a sterile environment. I will again repeat the answer. Why is this so long? At the beginning of the operation, the surgeon's hands are sterile, gown is sterile, patient's body is unsterile, and hence we need to keep the instrument away from the body. Okay, that's it. What are the other uses of this? Number one, this can be used for making a gauze swab to be used during a cholecystectomy. What is a gauze swab? I will show you pictures. Number two, it can be used in operations of hydatid cyst to take out the cyst and daughter cyst. Last one that I should not use is, can I use it for taking out the product of conception like an ovum forceps? Can it be used as an ovum forceps? Yes or no? It can be used but should not be. The reason being, very good, the ratchet or the catch. That's it. How is it sterilized? You know this use. New thing that I am teaching you. I hope you have seen this. This is my favorite instrument. Something called as a DeBakey forceps. or it is a type, if you have not known the name, what is the type of the end of the blade? Please see this. This is a dissecting forceps. Some people call it as non-tooth dissecting forceps. This is the name, non-tooth dissecting forceps. But what is so special is that one end has something that is elevated on one side. So there is an horizontal elevation, as you can see in this picture. So this is usually always named after. So this was named after the famous cardiothoracic surgeon Michael DeBakey, who had about, people say, the 99 inventions. Which type of disease do you use a DeBakey classification? Aortic dissection. What is DeBakey diaphragm? Aortic dissection. Okay, and he had his own operation done on him. So this is common use. Less common use is I use it for holding delicate structures like bile duct and bowel. But for you, the more common use is it is used for holding blood vessel. It's a single line answer. This is meant for holding blood vessels. Next type of forceps. This is a dissecting forceps. What is the thing at the tip? Casa tooth, fine tooth. So this is a fine tooth dissecting forceps, commonly called as an Adson's forceps. What is the use? This is used for holding the skin during dissections, particularly for plastic surgical operations. So if you need a precision in holding the skin, this is used for dissecting and holding during plastic surgical operations, something called as Adson's forceps. So more or less, I have told you all the list from this one. Now we'll go a little fast, and then we go to retractors. Now, just give me a minute.